Hello, I don't know if anyone's going to join straight away. I've just managed to get back from the school run on time, so it's quite good. So I will start anyway, and hopefully people will join as we go along. Today I'm going to talk about future tenses, which can be confusing. Oh, sorry, I'll try and put my phone up a little bit more. Hiya! How are you? Are you well? Have you had a good week? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Because you've got a busy weekend in Russia, haven't you? With Women's Day on Sunday? Is it Sunday or Monday you have Women's Day? Maybe Sunday. Oh, excuse me. Just closing the door. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about future tenses. And because it can be quite confusing, because we have different tenses which give different meanings for the future, and they get muddled up very easily and can be confused. Oh, it's on Sunday, is it? Oh, okay. So Sunday is the big day, and then you have Monday off work, is that correct? So Monday's like bank holiday in Russia as well, so you can recover from Sunday. Sounds nice. I think I should try and promote Women's Day in England. I don't know if it would work or not though, would it? If we try and encourage people to have Women's Day. We have Mother's Day. So do you have Mother's Day and Women's Day? Or is it just Women's Day? Who knows? So, oh yeah, Mother's Day is okay. If you're a mother. Alright, so future tenses. So, I will start with will, which some people call future simple, I think, but I don't know why. I just call it will for the future. So, we use will for different reasons. Oh, you have Mother's Day as well? Or you think Monday's Day off? That'd be good, Mother's Day and Women's Day. So, will we use will plus the infinitive for promises. So if you said someone, oh, I promise I'll call you tomorrow, but you don't have to say I promise, you can just say I'll call you tomorrow. So that's like a promise that you're making. Or an offer. So I don't know, if someone has a problem, you might say I'll help you. So a promise, an offer. And for a decision that you make at the time that you're talking. So not something that you've planned before, you make the decision now. So for example, if you were in a cafe and you were looking at the menu, and you might say, oh, I'll have a latte, please. Because you made the decision now. It's not like you have planned what you were going to have. You just made the decision at the time. So you'd say, I'll have a latte. So we have a promise, an offer, an on-the-spot decision. And we also have, this is very, very confuses people, a prediction without evidence. So just what you think will happen. Okay, so if you don't have any evidence about it, so like, oh, if I said it will probably rain tomorrow, but I haven't seen the weather forecast, so I can't say for certain. I'm just guessing. Maybe I'd say, oh well, I've planned to have a picnic, so it will probably rain. Like, oh, it'll be typical, but I have no evidence to say that it's going to rain. I'm just guessing. So, I should have done this on the computer, but I haven't. So I'm just going to give the basic idea. I have a cover on my phone. It makes it really annoying to type. So will plus infinitive we use for promises. It's not going to work. Promises, offers, decisions at the time, decisions at the time, and predictions with no evidence. Oh, hi Marina. How are you? Have you had a good week? It's nice to be Friday, isn't it? I suppose it's Friday evening for you now, isn't it, already? So your Friday of a bank holiday weekend. Hello. Have you had a good week? Fine, good. Are you looking forward to the weekend? Have a good weekend ahead of you. I'm fine, thank you. I'm very well. Good. The sun. Well, actually, it's not now. The sun has been shining in England today, so it's really nice. It's been like a spring day, so it's really good, and I love spring. It's my favourite time of year. So today has been good, but looking at the window now, it's actually grey. Oh, hello. Thanks for joining. Hiya. Okay, so just to recap, we're talking about future tenses. So I started with, oh, are you going to be on a live video? Okay, hold on. I don't know how to do this. Oh. I'm not sure if you meant to do that or not, or maybe you didn't want to. Okay, so we're talking about future tenses, and oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Привет.
Hiya. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Where are you in Russia?
Moscow.
You're in Moscow. Okay. Have you had a good week?
Yes, I'm a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, in your kitchen. Okay. And what's your name? Sorry.
Irina.
Irina. Nice to meet you, Irina.
Me
I'm
too.
Daisy. Okay. What do you do?
I don't know how to say. I'm not ready.
Okay, okay, no problem. Do you want me to turn it off? Do you want me to stop? Or not? Are you okay?
Yes, everything okay, but my Wi-Fi is not good.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, bye. Bye. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm not sure. I think the Wi-Fi connection wasn't very good. I'm not sure. Okay, so we were talking about future tenses, and I just, at the beginning, I spoke about will. So I said we use will for a promise. If you make somebody a promise, you say you will do it. You promise you'll do it. An offer. So if somebody has a problem, you'll say, oh, I'll help you. Or sometimes you might say, shall I help you? When you offer to help somebody. And you also have it for a prediction without evidence. So something that you think will happen, like if I was guessing, I might say, oh, it will probably rain tomorrow, but I haven't looked at the weather forecast. I'm just guessing. So I have no evidence. And you can also use it to make a decision at the time of speaking. So when you are in a cafe and somebody asks you what you want to drink, you might say, I'll have a latte. Okay, so you've made a decision at the time. You've looked at the menu. You'll say, oh, I'll have a latte, or I'll have a pizza, whatever you want. Okay, and we often use actually the expression, we often say, I'll go for. Like if you look at a menu for food and somebody says, what do you want? You might say, oh, I'll go for the pizza. It's like saying, I'm going to have the pizza, but you just say I'll have or I'll go for. So we say that's I will, but we always say I'll. We squash them together. We rarely say I will have. We just say I'll have or I'll go for. Okay, so that's will with the infinitive. Sorry, I could hear my daughter screaming downstairs, so I don't know. She's with my grandparents. She's not on her own. I'm not ignoring her. I just wondered what was wrong. Okay, so will is a promise, an offer, prediction without evidence, and an on-the-spot decision. Will plus infinitive. So not for a plan, okay? All right, so if, for example, if you said to me, what are you eating for dinner tonight? And I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight, so I might say, oh, I don't know, I'll probably have pasta. So you've asked me now, and I haven't made a decision, really. I'm just sort of saying it on the spot. Oh, I'll probably have some pasta for dinner tonight, because I haven't planned anything, okay? So if I had planned what I was going to have for dinner, I would use going to or present continuous. Okay, so this is where it gets confusing for some people, not everybody. Okay, so going to is what you always get taught for future tense for a plan. Okay, so like I'm going to have pasta for dinner tonight, or I'm going to go swimming tomorrow. It's a plan or an intention. Okay, so something that you have thought about beforehand and you've organised or decided to do. So going to can be going to plus the infinitive. I think I need to take the screen saver off my phone because it's very annoying. Going to plus infinitive. I'm having a blank infinitive. Okay. So we talk about plans, intentions, and also we talk about predictions with evidence. So if I'd seen the weather forecast, I could say it's going to rain tomorrow. I have seen the weather forecast, I have evidence, so it's going to rain tomorrow. I shouldn't have started talking about food, I'm hungry now. Okay, if anyone has any questions about this as I'm going, please just ask. Don't be shy. Okay. So ask any questions you have. I will try and answer them. Okay. So when you say going to, oh, it should be. I should have put be going to. So I'm going to go swimming tomorrow. Okay. It's my plan. It's my intention. It's what I want to do. And that way I've thought about it beforehand and I've made a decision. Okay, sorry, I should have put be on the other one, so I'm just putting it now so you don't get confused. Infinitive. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so if I've seen the weather forecast, I can say it's going to rain tomorrow because I have seen the weather forecast, and the weather forecast is therefore my evidence. And I'm going to go swimming tomorrow because that is my plan, my intention. Okay, but it would be more common for somebody to say I'm going swimming tomorrow, which would be using the present continuous for the future as opposed to going to. Okay, so present continuous you can use for the future when you have made a plan or an arrangement and it's certain. So you can use it in the same way as you use going to. So it's like for an arrangement. Maybe you've arranged to do something with a friend, you've made a plan, and it's as certain as you can be. Then you can use present continuous as long as you use the time in the future with it. Okay. So instead of saying, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Instead of saying I'm going to go swimming tomorrow, I would just say I'm going swimming tomorrow, because it's easier and it's less words to say. So present continuous plus your future time. So you just say, so you can't just say, if I said I'm going swimming, it'd mean like now. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going swimming. It'd mean now. But I have to say I'm going swimming tomorrow. So remember present continuous. So it's subject plus be plus verb ing. Okay. Okay. And then you say when in the future. It's just it's confusing because you'll hear people saying it and you'll hear them using the present continuous. It's more common than using going to, really. Like, oh, go away, keypad. So, for example, I could say I'm flying to Australia at the end of the month, or I'm seeing my friend next week. They're all arrangements that I have made with somebody, or I have booked a ticket. I've done something which means it's as certain as we can be. Okay, it's a plan on arrangement. Okay, so it's like going to, and you can use it the same way as going to, but most people would use present continuous because it's less words. I suppose it's just easier to use, but it can be confusing if you hear somebody and you think, oh, that's not future, because when you learn in grammar books, they will always teach you will, and then they will teach you going to, and that's what they always teach you in that order, and then eventually they teach you, oh, by the way, you can use present continuous for the future as well. But I often try and use going to and present continuous at the same time because it's pretty much the same meaning. The only time you'd use going to differently instead of present continuous is when you're using the predictions without evidence, or with evidence, sorry. Predictions with evidence, I'd say, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow. But actually some people still might say, oh, it's raining tomorrow. So it depends who you speak to. And that's the problem with English. Because when what we write and what we put in grammar books is often different to how we speak. Okay, so we've got will, we've got going to, and we've got present continuous. Look, I've written notes on my hand. Not very good. Will, going to, and present continuous for the future. We can also use present simple for the future, just to make it more confusing. So present simple for the future is only used for like timetabled or scheduled events. So you might say the lesson starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow. The flight is at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so again, you have to say when in the future, so you have to have the future time. But it's for something it's fixed, it's timetabled. It's not an arrangement that you've made with a friend. So if I was meeting my friend tomorrow, I wouldn't say I meet Kate at 7 o'clock tomorrow. That's not that wouldn't happen. I'd say I am meeting Kate at 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's an arrangement I've made with a friend. The only time you use present simple for the future is for a timetabled event. Timetabled, like as something that's scheduled. Okay. Okay, so present simple. For a timetabled event, or timetabled or scheduled. Oh, I hate it. Timetabled, scheduled event. In the future. Okay, so for example, yeah, I'm flying to Australia at the end of the month. My flight is at 7 o'clock in the evening. Okay, I'm teaching tomorrow. Tomorrow's lesson is at 9 o'clock. Okay, so it's something that's timetabled. I've put it in my diary. It's official. It's a set thing. It's not just some plan I've made for my friend. It's something that is set and fixed. I've timetabled it. I don't know why I'm using a pen today. I'm pointing at you. It's something fixed and organised, and like train timetables, bus departures and arrivals, things like this. They are all fixed timetabled events, so you can use present simple. But remember to use them with the future time. Okay, so it's like this afternoon or tomorrow or whenever. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? You're all very quiet today. Do you want to ask me a question before I carry on? I'll just keep talking and talking. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to recap all of them so that you are clear. So will is an offer. So I'll help you, or if you ask a question, you'd say, shall I help you? Okay, so an offer to help. It's a decision made at the time. So if you are in a cafe, for example, and you look at the menu and you'll say, I'll have a latte. So you make the decision at the time. There is no planning. You've also got it as a prediction without evidence. So I think it'll rain tomorrow, but I haven't seen the weather forecast. So offer, promise, prediction without evidence, and a decision on the spot. Okay. You've then got going to, which are for plans and intentions. So I'm going to learn a new language next year. That's my plan intention. It's not. I'll never learn another language. I'm terrible. So you can say I'm going to see my friend next week. I'm going to go swimming tomorrow. Okay, it's my plan or my intention. And you can also use it for a prediction with evidence. So you can use it's going to rain tomorrow because I've seen the weather forecast. He's going, I think he's going to pass his exam because he's been studying really hard. Okay, so you've got some evidence to give your reason. And then, so that's going to, and then you can use present continuous. And present continuous is when you've made plans and arrangements. So if you've arranged to do something with your friend, you can say, for example, I'm meeting my friend tomorrow because I've arranged it with her and I've organised it. So you could say, I'm going to meet my friend tomorrow, but most people would say, I'm meeting my friend tomorrow because it's less words. Okay? So present continuous is something that's arranged or planned in the future, and you have to use it with your future time. And then you've got present simple for the future, so your normal present simple, and then plus the time in the future. So that's for a timetabled or scheduled event, like the flight leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning. The lesson starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, and so present simple is just for timetabled or scheduled events, and you must use the time in the future with it so that it makes sense. Okay. Any questions? Any questions about future tenses? Who would any of you like to tell me about your plans for this weekend? So what are you going to do on Sunday? Does anybody want to try and use a future tense and say what they are? So you could say, on Sunday, I am going to have dinner with my family. Or you could say, on Sunday, I'm having dinner with my family. So does anyone have any plans for Sunday? Because Sunday is a big day in Russia. So no one's going to be brave and try and type what they're going to do on Sunday. No? Oh, come on. It's not that scary. Does anyone have any plans for the weekend? Do you have any plans? No? Okay. I would have thought you'd have lots of plans because it's a big weekend. What are you doing on Monday? Or do you just relax on Monday because you'll be so tired after Sunday? No one's going to talk to me or tell me. Okay. Does anyone have any questions that they would like me to answer about about future tenses or anything else in England? Everybody can hear my daughter's singing outside. Okay, so no one has any questions. Okay, well I will give you a few phrasal verbs then, and you can we can do some phrasal verbs instead. So I think so far this week we had, what did I do? Break up and ask out, and today I said get back to, and what was the other one? Oh, and back someone up. So if you weren't sure about those, I said if you ask someone out, it's to invite somebody on a date. If you break up with someone, it means to end the relationship. And I also said you can break up as in to put something into lots of pieces, like break up a bar of chocolate into lots of pieces. But what I forgot to say on that day was that you can also, the phone can be breaking up. You know, if you talk to somebody on the phone and there's no signal, you might say, oh, you're breaking up. It means you can't hear very well. Even somebody sounds like that. You can't hear them properly on the phone. And then we had back someone up, which was to support somebody and to say they are telling the truth. And today I said to get back to you. So when you ask me a question, if I don't have the answer straight away, I'll say I'll get back to you next week, meaning I will tell you next week, or I will answer the question when I can. Okay? So I'm going to give you a few more phrasal verbs. Okay, what have we got? I'm just choosing some because I forget which ones I've done. Okay, so let's go for, makeup, because makeup has lots of different meanings. I can't remember which ones I've done so far. So if I've told you them before, just tell me, okay? So makeup means there's lots of different meanings. So if you make something up, it means that you create it in your head. Okay, so it's like a invent or create. So you can make up a story. You know, like when you're at school and you hadn't done your homework, and you might make up a story to tell the teacher to get out of trouble. So you make up a story, means invent a story, to get out of trouble, and get out of trouble means to avoid trouble. Okay, so you've got make up a story means invent a story, to get out of trouble, which means avoid trouble. Okay, so there's two. And then we've got to make up with another person. So if you break up, so for example, we said break up is when two people are in a relationship and then they break up. So they don't like each other anymore, have an argument, and they break up. And then they say, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I'm so sorry. And they make up. They become friends again. So when you make up, it means you are friends again. If you break up and you don't like each other anymore, and then you make up, it means you become friends again. Okay, so you got make up to invent or create, and make up to become friends again. And oh, we also use makeup like a noun as well, don't we? So makeup that you put on your face. So you can put on makeup, meaning apply makeup, or you can make up your face, meaning to put makeup on your face. Okay. Oh, what else have we got? Mess up. Okay, so I'm going to write these down actually, because otherwise I'll forget the ones that I've told you. Make up and mess up. I should make lists of the things that I have told you. Okay, so if you mess something up, it means you make a mistake or you do something wrong. You mess it up. Okay, it means it's gone wrong. Like when I tidy up my house, for example, I tidy up my house and then my daughter comes in and she'll mess it up. Like it will be untidy again. Or if you're maybe doing a piece of writing or a piece of work and you make a mistake, you mess up the piece of work. If you're baking a cake and you put salt in the mixture instead of sugar, you mess up the cake. Okay, so it just means to make a mistake, do something wrong. Okay. Okay, and what else we do? I'm just choosing them off a list as I go because I can't remember anything. Pass by. So pass by means to go past, basically. So if my friend might say, if you're passing by my house, call in. So what that means is, if you are going past my house, come in and see me. So it just means you're walking, driving, cycling past. So her house is here and I'm walking along, means I'm passing by. Okay, so if you're passing by, call in. And to call in means to go in and see them. Okay, and sometimes we say, I think I've told you before, we say pop in. So if you're passing by, pop in. You might also say, if I'm going to town, so I'll be passing by the supermarket, so I will pop in and get some food. So it doesn't just have to be a house, it can be a shop or anything. So passing by means just to go past, and to call in or to pop in means to just go in quickly. I don't know, pop into the shop, call into your friend's house means to go in just quickly for a short visit. Okay, so you've got makeup with makeup to invent or create, makeup to become friends again, make up your face, to apply makeup as in the noun. Mess up is to make a mistake, do something wrong. Pass by is to go past somebody's house, and if you pass by you can call in, or pop in is to make a short visit. Okay, so you've got a few phrasal verbs as well. Any questions? Come on, somebody must have a question. Okay, so I got asked some questions after this week, and I'm not ignoring them. I'm going to answer one of the questions on the next Instagram. So one of the questions was about English humour, so English jokes, which is a big question because we have I don't know, we have different types of jokes and humour, probably the same way that you do, but it's a difficult thing to understand. So next time we have Instagram, I'm going to do my best to explain English humour. Oh, there are questions. Oh, sorry, where are the questions? I can't see your questions. I can't see them. No, I'm trying. I can't see them. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Ah, yes. Is it cold in your room? Why are you wearing a warm jacket? Marina, yes. It is sometimes. It's not now, actually, because I've got so many clothes on. I'm too hot now. But, can't help you with it. It'll be... Yes. So, yes, it is. It's normally really cold in this room because I'm in my mum's house and this room is always cold. So I always put on lots of clothes because I get too cold. And yesterday I didn't put on enough clothes and I was teaching and I was freezing and I had to keep turning the heater on. So today I've got my scarf on, but now I'm too hot. So that's why. What are my plans for the weekend? My plans are, I don't have any plans. I think I'm going swimming tomorrow. Probably going to take my daughter swimming. And I might meet up with a friend tomorrow as well. I think, yeah, but no big plans for this weekend. Are you going to have are you going to do Women's Day in London? As you're not in Russia at the moment, are you going to do Women's Day in London? Or are you going to be English about it and not do it at all? What are your plans? Okay. Were there any more questions that I've missed? No, I think that's all. No. Okay, so next time I'm going to try and answer your questions about English humour. I will try. I'm going to give you some examples and try and explain them, which will probably just be funny watching me try to explain them, I think. And the question about why we say to leave like an Englishman is, I think, I'm not really sure. I think that it is probably because English people... So, oh, you're going to be English. Okay. Okay. So English, the example I could give is that when I teach my students at the language school, if I have students from Spain and Italy and places like this, when they leave, they always want to give me a big hug and oh, thank you, and they hug and they kiss. And being very English people sort of just go goodbye, or they wave, or they shake hands, and it's we don't hug as much, and we're not as maybe not as affectionate as some countries. So maybe that's why they say to leave like an Englishman. That's the best explanation I can think of, because I think maybe we don't hug and kiss and say goodbye to everyone in the room. We'll just say bye, see ya, and go. But when you actually look at it, some people say to leave like a Frenchman or an Irishman. So I think different countries say different things. That's the best explanation I can give at the moment, but I can try and get back to you with a better answer. And I will do jokes and humour next week somehow. I'm not sure how. I have to plan for this one. Okay, have a good weekend and enjoy Sunday, and I will see you next week. Okay, goodbye. Thanks for joining me. Oh, you can't stop it now.